Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to your reading for January. So let's see what the major themes are for the month ahead. We'll get into your tarot in just a sec. So we have the new moon coming up with Begin. So there is a new potential brimming here in this month for you. There are new possibilities, opportunities, and choices that will present themselves in January. And I love that it's literally the beginning of the year and you're starting kind of on a new note here. Okay, so the first highlight we have is a goal-oriented person with target. Next, we have you need to defend yourself with the shield, 7 of Wands vibe. And we also have gavel with involvement with the law. Okay, so some of you, quite literally, it could be that you have some legal procedures going on, some contracts, documentation, things like that, because we do have Capricorn season still going on in the beginning part of January, and then later on it moves into Aquarius. That would be your 9th house of the law and contracts, visas, long distance travel applications, and so on and so forth. So for like big chapters, big beginnings, and future vision, these things could be a part of your month, quite literally. Apart from that, it could be about trying to find better balance in life and kind of understanding the law of karma. You need to defend yourself is giving me the vibe that you're standing up for yourself, not in the sense, not necessarily that someone is attacking you, but in the sense of you are having a feeling of empowerment for yourself and for your choices. So there will be points in this month where you are looking at what you can do, like what your future looks like, what you are aiming for, and what is of a priority for you, things like that. And that would mean that you draw a line with some other areas of your life, and people involved with that sector might not be very happy about it. For example, you might want to cut down on work hours because you want to be closer to family, or vice versa. And either party would not be very happy about that separation, or like the temporary separation, but it just has to be done for now because you're focused on other things. In a legal case, it could be more in the defensive position, but with the goal-oriented person and the target, it looks like whatever the situation is, there is improvement or success coming up, but there is a need to focus in on that particular circumstance in order to get to that point. Capricorn is in a trine though for you, so either way there is coming up a successful outcome to the problem. Whether it is a literal law thing or something you're attempting in your personal life. You could also be studying law, and in that case, you could be, taking on that stand. We have mood codes, right? You could be making your case, and you are really goal-oriented towards, achieving whatever it is that you want to. Okay, some more details. We have the Hermit coming up, and this can indicate some alone time or needing to introspect and reflect on knowledge acquired so far. We have the 7 of Wands coming up again. So the shield and the 7 of Wands really loud and clear. So there could really be a presentation even where there is a defense going on, and or you have like some people who will be asking you questions based on what you present, things like that. So you could feel put in the spotlight, and if you're not comfortable with that, then it can feel a little bit like a defensive position, but then it's not a literal case of that, but rather the perspective that we're experiencing. Needing to go solo, that's really loud and clear in both of these cards. And we also have the Hanged Man. So gaining a lot of knowledge by looking at the other side of something. So gaining a new perspective can be like collaborating with someone else, or in this defense situation, you're learning about the other person's side, and that really opens up your eyes as well. There is again spiritual awareness and needing to trust the self in all of these three cards. The gut is super loud and clear, and there is a need to listen to that instinct before taking future action. So I think you are again thinking about things before you make forward movements. In this month though, there is not much movement, I must say. So if you're planning on travel and so on, it's not as impactful. I'm not saying that nothing happens, but that's not the biggest highlight of the month for you. And rather, it's the inner world that is speaking out loud and clearly. If you need guidance, it is likely you're finding it within. You're not looking outward. What else? There is also a surrendering and letting go of control. So you're releasing expectations and you are allowing the natural unfoldment of things. You're like, the truth is going to come out anyway. And it's all three of these, actually these two cards, Hermit and the Hangman, are sort of like that. The truth is just going to pour out. It is just going to show up. There is, whether you hide it or run away from it or suppress it or whatever we do, it's just going to be out in the open at some point. So there is these two archetypes. You realize that there is no use resisting something that is very natural. So when they flow along, that's when they find their inner power and they recognize the ups and the downs of everything. Okay. And it's quite opposite to the Seven of Wands, which is really standing tall and proud, and quite significant here in this reading as well. I like the blend because if you are in a legal procedure or a contractual, process at this time, you are making your steps. It's not like you're sitting passively. If the Hangman was only here, I would say it's more of a passive month, but you're definitely doing some things, but you're also allowing the other side to unfold. So there's not much attachment to something here. Okay. And then we have, what do you really want? Yeah, this is again a very introspective card. It wants to really consider choices, which is, like I said earlier, is coming up in January. With new moons, again, there will be like many possibilities that open up, but nothing is concrete yet. And we need to kind of sift through them or see what would be best for us right now. So I think that's where we're getting this. Okay, and we have inflow with money. Okay, we have 3 planets turning direct in this month, by the way, Mars, Mercury, and Uranus. So we are again driven in terms of action. We have enough energy and stamina. Things are moving ahead. Processes are clearer. Our ideas and brainstorming that we have done throughout the retrograde phases and the walls we have hit and therefore learned what does not work is now going to help us find what is the right path and how can we maximize our focus and concentration, and how can we maximize our potential as well. So in flow with money says that you will have some financial gains, or you have enough to support you. If you are taking some break from the outside world, then as well you can afford to take a bit of a holiday or a long weekend or something of that sort. It can also be that you want to make your own money and perhaps people are not very supportive of you doing your own thing, that you have to kind of look inwards and think if you are on board. Because if you are as well doubtful, since you are the one going through the journey, it would not be the best idea to start in such a mindset. So it's sort of like you're reflecting again, and you're like, I am a goal-oriented person, but am I ready for this? Because it might be a bigger deal. We have 2 major arcana, so it looks like a major month. A lot of it is internal, but definitely will turn external at some point. The planets are still turning straight, so everything is not going to be full force yet in January. But it is definitely a very, very pivotal month because the planets are literally like stopping at one point, changing direction, and then pivoting backward, actually forward from moving backward. So pivotal month. Okay, then we have the sun. This is about happiness, success, also focus and clarity. Looking for clarity and looking at the internal sun is what I'm getting. Then we have enchantment. Immediately I'm feeling faith and belief. Yeah. Because all three of these cards are all about belief and faith in themselves and in a greater whole. Okay? So you are trusting your own decision making as an individual for this life, for whatever stage you're in, but you're also having to trust that everything else that's beyond your control has to just fall into place. As long as you are doing things for a very clear reason, you are able to trust in you. Okay. Yeah, so Mars would be in Gemini. That would be your second house of money. That explains the inflows. If you've been struggling with financial situations, this would be the time that it makes a turnaround and you can relax a little bit and you're like, okay, yes, let's begin this new phase. Your 10th house career is also going to be impacted. It could be that you have a new idea for your career, and that could be a change in direction, however minor or major, most likely major, but yeah, there is some sort of change of direction, and that brings you more inflow with your money. Or your sense of abundance and prosperity as well. So not strictly the material aspect of money, but like how you feel with money, because too much of something does not have to be too much happiness as well, right? It can be that, you know, you have too much fame or too much money and now you're burdened with the choices, like everything has a gravity of its own, so you can't be very light about it, right? So there is an extreme to everything, but over here it looks like you are aware of the extremes to some degree for your current circumstances, and you're able to manage yourself very well in the sense of your effort, your resource, time, and also the financial aspect of it. Recognizing your own worth is also, there is like a huge revelation or like epiphany that could come about when Uranus turns direct towards the end of the month. Because that is going to be in your zodiac, right? It's in Taurus right now. So there is a definite personal breakthrough that is unshakable, undeniable, and really connects you with a deeper aspect of yourself. There could be that inner fire that just starts bubbling, and it is a very dynamic process, but it's very internal. Again, it's like three things happening simultaneously. One, realization coming through. Two, that setting in. Three, the old leaving. So three things happening at the same time. It's like past, present, future. Everything just makes sense. And it's inevitable in that moment to just become really objective. You just distance yourself. And that's when you can see your past, present, and future so clearly, right? That's kind of the hermit energy here. It can also be that learning from hindsight and retrospect by introspecting all those things when we come to the Hanged Man and the Hermit together. But that gives you such a strong sense of identity, such a breakthrough from, you know, everything stagnant. The Hangman talks about stagnancy as well. So, you know, you being a fixed earth sign, it can be very hard to, you know, make changes and kind of be flexible and go with whatever comes. Instead, you're more stability oriented. You look at sustainability of things, and you're about momentum and inertia. So Uranus being here has been a bit of a topsy-turvy ride, especially when it was squaring with Saturn since, I think, December 2021. And even before, but it like came and went sort of in between. So either way, there has been some tension internally and with your career or your public image, things like that. But in January, it looks like a breakthrough is coming, and Saturn is not restricting anymore. It is moving away from this particular square, so it really allows the real you to come out and shine, kind of showcase your skill sets. Okay, so let's see some more. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the month of January, please. We we have Libra again associated with justice, law, karma, fairness, equality, contracts, partnerships, all those things. And we have a South Node as well. Some of you might be separating from a partner that you've been with. Again, if it resonates with you, it could also be a career partner. So someone you've been in a business with, or you don't want to, work for a company anymore, so you're going your own way. In that way, that would be sort of a divorce type of situation. But again, this is not something shocking or surprising. You already know this. It's just that this is the final breakthrough moment sort of vibe. 8th house can talk about toxicities, so purging relationship patterns that are not useful, or what have you bound yourself to? That's the question I'm getting, which holds you back and kind of keeps you stuck in a certain place and keeps you stuck in a rut. And again, that stagnancy is coming through, because those things are just they must be shaken out. That's what I'm hearing. Oh, and Okay. In the 8th house, we talk about Scorpio vibes, and you have the South Node transiting in Scorpio in your 7th house. So it could be that you're releasing a partnership, or you're letting go of certain relationships, and you're more preferring the solitary role, or you're learning so much about yourself that the relationships that you form are inevitably being shaken up. So this here can talk about the final release point, and after this, you perfectly in balance, or you're a lot more aware to remain in balance beyond this point here. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. I also have a Happy New Year reading going on at this time. It won't be there for the entire year, so I will be doing month-by-month breakdown of what's going on for you in terms of career and finances, love and relationships, and also wellness and spirituality. So if you're interested, you can check that out. The link is in the description box in the comment below. And please check your sun, moon, and rising signs for the month ahead. That will give you a more comprehensive view in the order generally of the rising sign, sun sign, and the moon sign. Sun if you are born in the day, and moon if you are born at night. Okay, so with that being said, I will see you some other time. Take care. Have a good month. Bye.